Geico asks, how would you love a chance to save some money on insurance? Of course you would. And when it comes to great rates on insurance, Geico can help. Like with insurance for your car, truck, motorcycle, boat, and RV. Even help with homeowners or renters coverage. Plus, add an easy-to-use mobile app, available 24-hour roadside assistance, and more, and Geico is an easy choice. Switch today and see all the ways you could save. It's easy. Simply go to geico.com or contact your local agent today.
Take the next step toward the career you want, be it business, cybersecurity, healthcare, or more. UMGC can help you get there. No application fee when you apply by August 31st. Visit umgc.edu, certified to operate by Chev.
Hey, Ola, it's Miles. Thank you guys for listening to the Men's Room Daily Podcast.
Have you heard our newest podcast? It's called The Greatest Story Never Told.
Download it today on radio.com. Be sure to subscribe. New episodes are uploaded every Tuesday at noon. All right, we made it to drinking time.
Somebody out there deserves to be recognized. And the Men's Room knows just who it is. So to you, we say, bottoms up, sailor. You're the toast of our shot of the day.
Drink time it is, and as usual, we head to the drink desk and Stephen Throwhill to find out who we're toasting.
Yes, indeed. Today we toast an unidentified man from Santa Rosa, California. Now, police got a call on Tuesday morning about a suspicious car at a vineyard there. Now, it was right next to one of those giant fans that grape growers use to prevent their grapes from freezing. But as the cops got closer to it, they realized there was someone inside of the fan. You see, the base is hollow, and it's just big enough to fit a person inside. Case in point, they found today's honoree. Well, he climbed in, and he had gotten stuck for 2 days. Now, naturally, the cops asked why he climbed in, and he explained, look, I'm a photographer, and I specialize in old farm equipment, but specifically their motors, and the motor of the fan is located in this tube. Well, good enough. But the cops were able to eventually help him out. He thanked them, but before they let him go, they got a little suspicious because they realized that this photographer that loves and specializes in farm equipment didn't have any actual camera equipment, either on his person or in his car. So they searched him. And in the words of the officers, quote, he had far more methamphetamine than camera equipment. Anyway, the reason why he climbed inside remains a mystery, but probably because he was on meth.
He got lucky they found his ass.
Yeah, he really did. He would have died in there, man.
That's like a nothing.
There's no doubt about it. But yeah, so kids, don't do meth. You might climb inside of a giant fan on a farm. So let's drink. We pour this booze and we drink this booze because we think it's yummy.
Yummy!
So over the tongue and down the throat to party in our tummies. Down the hola, bichola!
The Men's Room presents Profile This.
And Stephen Throwhill, can you please tell everyone how Profile This is played?
Oh, I sure can, Miles. It's a simple game where we share with you a real-life news story. Something that happened right here on planet Earth. And as you listen to the story, based on the stereotypes you believe to be true of people and the decisions that people make, we'll ask you what it is you think makes the story a story. Hello, Adam. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Well, hello. How are you all today?
Hola. All right, Adam, we're doing well, by the way. You understand how to play this here game?
I do indeed.
Fantastic. You know you have your choice of one of three stories. We have the wonderful world of drugs. We have Bite Me. In other words, what does someone find in their food? And finally, interior decorating, where you guess the foreign object that ended up on the inside of someone.
Well, going along with the hair conversations, let's go Bite Me.
Just eat it. Get yourself
That's a fine segue. Get yourself a job in radio.
Yeah.
All right, here's your story. There is a woman named Tara Hellel, and she lives in Pensacola, Florida. And she got some food from Taco Bell. But when she got home and unwrapped her soft taco, I'm talking about the food, she found something... she found something sticking to the bottom of the shell. She says, quote, I don't know if it was intentionally put there, but I found it in there. But another thing I thought about was how did they not notice that in there? Anyway, she took the taco and the object back to Taco Bell, and she says the staff, they gave her a refund, but they didn't apologize. Then she posted a picture of the taco and the object on Facebook, and it found its way to the local news. The local news called Taco Bell, and someone from the corporate offices reached out to Tara to offer her, quote, a better dining experience if she took down the Facebook post. Well, she says she doesn't want free food. She just wants people to be more careful. The question is, what did she find in her soft taco? Was it a Band-Aid, a cigarette, chewed gum, or a thumbnail? So Band-Aid, cigarette, chewed gum, or a thumbnail?
Well, I worked at Taco Bell for about 3 years, and it could be any of those things.
That's comforting.
Yes. It's, you just simply don't want to know. Just eat it and enjoy it. I got to ask the panel. I have my idea, but I'd like to know what y'all are thinking.
I think it's one of those things where you see it and you go, oh, God. So because of that, I think it could be a Band-Aid, because if a Band-Aid was on the outside of a soft taco, it would stick and it might blend a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Cigarette, you would definitively know that that's a cigarette. So you'd look at it and go, oh, my God, that's a cigarette. And the fact that corporate got involved, gum might not be as identifiable, or a thumbnail might not be.
Gum.
Yeah. I think I'm going to put my money, Adam, on, I'm going to go Band-Aid today, I think. Someone's doing that in a cig for me.
Yeah, I don't disagree with the logic, but I really want it to be a cigarette. We're going to go cigarette.
Cigarette. Okay. All right, what did the Florida woman find on the outside of her soft taco shell? Was it a Band-Aid, a cigarette, chewed gum, or a thumbnail? We'll find out next.
That was a tease.
Geico asks, how would you love a chance to save some money on insurance? Of course you would. And when it comes to great rates on insurance, Geico can help. Like with insurance for your car, truck, motorcycle, boat, and RV. Even help with homeowners or renters coverage. Plus, add an easy-to-use mobile app, available 24-hour roadside assistance, and more, and Geico is an easy choice. Switch today and see all the ways you could save. It's easy. Simply go to geico.com or contact your local agent today.
Take the next step toward the career you want, be it business, cybersecurity, healthcare, or more. UMGC can help you get there. No application fee when you apply by August 31st. Visit umgc.edu, certified to operate by Chev.
We return to the men's room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
Categories by me on profile. This woman in Florida got food at Taco Bell, found something sticking to the outside of her soft taco shell. Put it up on Facebook. People were appalled. Either way, she took it back, and she said she really didn't get the apology she wanted, but she did get a refund. A Taco Bell corporate just called and said, hey, could you please take that Facebook post down?
Right.
And she said, nah, I don't think so.
But the question that we had for you was, what was it that she ended up finding on her soft taco? Was it a Band-Aid, a cigarette, chewed gum, or a thumbnail? Mr. Montgomery, we start with you. You went with Band-Aid. While that is disgusting, I'm afraid that is not the answer. And Adam, you really didn't know. You kind of agreed with Miles's logic, but the truth of you was simply this. I'm going to say cigarette just because you hope it's a cigarette.
Oh, you are correct. There you go. Nice job. Something to be happy about. Now, fall TV news all the time. It's time for TV Time with Ted.
And now, because your pathetic life is confined to countless hours in front of a talking box, Armageddon. The Men's Room presents TV Time with Ted.
Oh, look, it's Mike Hawk again.
Hello, everybody. The sacred soft taco.
I haven't seen you since I lost 15 pounds.
Oh, no, really? Damn, man. Going to be sports heavy on this one. First, we're going to clarify a little something that happened just as the NFL went into the offseason. It was the big buzz here around Seattle, centered around our franchise quarterback, Russell Wilson. There was obviously a lot of drama that was going on, and there were people wondering, is he going to leave? Is he going to find a new team? Is somebody going to swipe him up? Is he not happy here and all that? So he spoke with reporters at the OTAs today, and he wanted to clarify things just a little bit. And he says, quote, I think, first of all, you obviously know I love Seattle. I love playing here. I've had a great career here so far, and I've always wanted to play here for my whole career, obviously. I think there's some unfortunate frustrations after the season. Obviously, you want to win it all and do everything that you can. I think everybody on our team does. We all want to win it. I think, unfortunately, it got a bit blown out of proportion, which is what I said from the very beginning. People just took some words and they just kind of ran with it. But it says, quote, in terms of the trade talks, I think anytime you play professional sports, there's always a possibility of something happening. I think that it's just a reality. I think that there's a lot of teams out there that people were saying that I was going to or would go that I requested a trade. He says, I did not request a trade. I've always wanted to play here. The reality is I think calls were getting thrown around and this and that. And I mean, it's just a reality. But I think at the end of the day, the real reality is I'm here and I'm here to win and I'm here to win it all. He's stressed on Thursday that he wants to continue the Seahawks winning ways, quote, but do a little bit more.
Sure.
So it's exactly what we were saying. He was frustrated. He's one of the most sacked quarterbacks that's in the league. We're knocking on the door each and every time we get to the first round of the playoffs, maybe the second round if we're lucky, but we get knocked down in a fashion that we know we can do better.
Sure.
You know you can do better.
Quarterback, look, there's two things. There's just two things. One of those things is, do I have a say in the offense that I'm running?
Right.
Tom Brady calls his own plays.
He does.
Okay. They won a Super Bowl. Russ knows what he sees out there.
Absolutely.
But he's also getting calls, and you can call audibles and things like that. But situationally, from everything like the formation they put you in, you can only do so much as far as audible out of those, right?
Exactly.
The second is personnel. To have a say in, like, hey, man, I'm getting hit every time from the left side. Can we get a tackle? Can we get... So I think, and not that Schneider and Carroll don't handle those decisions, but I think he's saying, like, hey, I would like to have a little bit of input.
Input matters.
On some of that stuff.
Well, and you remember when the season started, it was all about let Russ cook and get out there. And we were winning in pretty spectacular fashion.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, things just kind of started to tilt, and our offense kind of went back to that same hang by the skin of your teeth.
But you got to remember something else. The design play that's being called, all right? Russell Wilson, he doesn't have enough time to execute that play. The big plays on offense, a lot of the time, a higher percentage of the time from the Seahawks, come from a busted play.
Yeah.
And that is not what you draw up in practice. That is Russell improvising and being a great athlete.
But you almost count on it. You honestly do.
You have to. You have to count on spinning around 900 times back there. Think of the great plays that he has made, and it's not the paper, the design, the practice. It's nothing like that. He had to improvise based on the fact that he didn't have enough time.
Right.
So that's why
Again.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all the time.
Exactly.
And dude's like, he's like, I'm getting older.
Right.
So that kind of thing, it's going to decrease no matter who you are.
Right.
Give me some protection.
Tom Brady is not a jack guy. He's not really a big dude. Not that he doesn't work out or anything.
Right.
The game plan for Tom Brady was get the ball out of his hand in 1.5 seconds. That way Tom Brady doesn't get hit.
Exactly.
Tom Brady is not hit.
He can't scramble. He doesn't move.
Yeah, because the way that they draw their offense up, the ball's out of his hands before he has a chance to get hit.
Exactly.
That is not the way they draw these plays up.
Exactly.
And trust me, players want to hit Tom Brady.
Right.
They do. They absolutely do.
Look what happens. Look what happens when Cam Newton goes in there and doesn't make a quick decision.
Right.
So that's
Gets
the difference.
floored.
That's the difference.
Absolutely. Well, and more to what you were saying, Miles, about personality. You look at the personnel that not personality, but personnel. You look at who Tom Brady has right now with the Bucs. He's got Chris Evans. He's got Godwin out there. He's got his boy Gronk out there. He's got O.J. Howard out there. He's got a number of people that he can give it to. Not to mention an all-star class running core that he can hand it off to. He doesn't need to hold the ball for any length of time at all. We in the Seahawks, we got a great receiving base. We got some great runners, but our
great
great defense, and our offensive line is just they're trying everything that they can, but.
Great special teams.
Absolutely.
There's not a lot of holes.
No.
The team's a great team.
No.
All he's saying is, I'd like to have some input.
Exactly.
Just on what plays we run,
I
when
can
we run
speak
them.
for him. Give me an offensive line.
Give me an offensive line. And I am stoked to see what they do this season. They've done a lot in this offseason. I think they had a very, very good offseason. I think they got just the personnel in there that they needed. They didn't need much, but small tweaks make big changes, and I think that's what they've got going on here, so I'm really excited to see what we got.
They should
Now,
have
the
a
downside,
great team.
The downside is they're going to have to deal with the Cardinals.
Yes. And
Right,
that's
there's always, but the Cardinals have gone all in.
They have.
Seahawks have been around for a decade. You understand. Cardinals, they this season, next season, 'cause that's all they can afford with these contracts they're putting out there. But
I admire teams to do that.
Right.
To go in and say, people say, like, well, that's a super team. You'll hear Charles Barkley bitching about the Brooklyn Nets right now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't believe that's a real basketball team. That's a super team that they put together. Is he right? Yeah. Does that win championships?
Yeah.
Sometimes
Yes,
it does. Yes.
I'm going to call it right now. The Cardinals are overfluffed. They're not making it.
I don't think they'll make it to the Super. I think they'll be very good in regular season. I think they'll get their ass handed to them by a veteran team.
They will be tough. They will be beatable.
I will say one thing that no one wants to hear, but this is the ultimate truth.
I thought you were about to sing.
And I've said this before, but honestly, Russell Wilson has been healthy for so long. He's been such a dependable quarterback.
Absolutely.
Behind center. Tom Brady's the same way. There's a couple times when he stepped out and Garoppolo came in and won 3 or 4 games.
For 20 years, right?
But not much. But you do get injured every once in a while.
Sure.
The biggest problem with the Seahawks, if it's for some reason Russell Wilson twists a knee, not that it's going to take him out for the season. Maybe it's 2 or 3 games, right? what do you do now?
Exactly.
Because
Geno Smith back there.
And what do you do now?
But what
do you do
team
now?
is okay?
As a guy, yeah.
But what team, if their starter goes down, say 6 weeks, all right? So not just 3, say 6 weeks, all right? What team do you go, oh, they'll be fine? I don't think there's one in the NFL where
Jags.
they go,
the Jags.
who is their backup?
Gardner Minshew.
So not the Jags.
Like Boyles isn't a bad backup. There's Nick Foles is a bad backup.
Nope, not bad at all.
There's a lot of backups
Foles,
out there
maybe.
that aren't the Seahawks. I'm telling you, if that happens, you know what's going to happen.
But, but look, same thing with the Ravens. We have Lamar. Mm-hmm. If he goes down, I mean, the way that team is built around him. If he goes down, it's not even whether or not you have a good quarterback behind him. Like that, everything you've designed. I can promise you that quarterback does not replicate what Lamar does, and it's unlikely you replicate what Russell does.
Right. You got to change the entire offense.
But you never know. I mean, the Saints had no backup option. They put in a doggone tight end, and he held his own out there.
He did.
Well, I mean, he's a quarterback too.
People can do some things.
Chad Ochocinco did kick field goals or punt? Kick field goals.
He can do anything.
And then one final bit that he said, he has cleared the air with John Snyder and Pete Carroll since the trade rumors surfaced. So everything's good there. We're all back on track.
Well, I'm sure it's one of those things like, look, you see what's in the news, but we know what's going on. Let's just go to work while they hash it out and sensationalize everything.
Exactly. What do you know? We speculate an awful lot more than what actually happens. Now for the sports that are actually in session right now. One is baseball that's going on, and something amazing has happened. 2 games yesterday had home runs that were taken away from them for the same reason. So the first one here that I've got for you is from is a Kansas City Royals minor leaguer. He had a solo home run taken off his ledger when he was called out for failing to touch home plate, even though he appeared to do so. I encourage you guys to take a look at the video.
Like he hit the home plate to me.
It did. It really looked like he
actually
did.
Been over and brushed the plate right where he stepped.
Exactly.
That's not evidence.
Like Miles said, he appeared to stutter step and shuffle laterally across the dish in what seemed to be a pretty tame and understated celebration, but he still, for some reason, made it known that he didn't tag home plate because on the very next, when the next batter came up, the pitcher lobbed the ball to home plate, and it looked like everybody knew that he was going to be called out, and he was. As soon as he threw it home, he called it out, and so it was just a very long triple is what it was ruled.
And I'm not saying this because your brother's an NFL official, but they call like they see it. They have no hidden agenda. Mm-hmm. Umpires in baseball, refs in hockey, NBA refs.
Right.
I mean, those guys will try to control a game. We've even heard it on mic.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
sure.
Where in the NFL, it's like we call what we see. We might not get all the calls correct.
Right.
But our agenda is not to alter the outcome of a match.
Right.
Or a contest. As far as that guy goes, I mean, he was absolutely.
He had done it.
That's exactly what he wanted to do.
But that happened on the same day that over in Pittsburgh, Cabrian Hayes, let's see, he sorry, hang on here. It says, watching his ball sneak over the Clemente wall and inside of the right field foul pole, he rounded first base as the fireworks went off and stepped on home as the Bucks took an early 1-0 lead in the first inning against the Dodgers. The only problem is in that video, he clearly did not step on first base.
Oh, didn't step on first base.
He did not step on first base.
You had to take your time.
So, and you know what? Thrill and I were having this conversation here before the show. I understand that it is technically on the books that when you hit a home run, you need to tag all the bases. Okay, that's fine. But is it though?
No, because baseball's got some unwritten rules that are understood. For an example, if you're going to turn a double play, right? Mm-hmm. Ball gets hit to second base, okay? What's he do? He turns, he fires to the shortstop who's coming across the bag.
Correct.
What's happening at the same time? The guy from first base is going to try to make a play on that shortstop so that his throw will be errant to the first baseman.
Right.
He will either try to get in front of him, he'll slide. There's an understanding if that shortstop just clears the bag first, even without touching it.
Right. He doesn't have to touch it at all.
Does not have to touch it. For a safety reason, it's just understood. It's a given.
Exactly.
You call them out.
But we're saying, like, you did the thing they asked you to do, which is smack the ball out of the park. Every
this
park
is no contest.
has different dimensions, all this stuff, right? But you did that.
For the sake of the speed of the game, if there's nobody on, just walk back into the dugout and put a run on.
That more than anything. Like, why does he even have to go around the... Like, I just hit it out of the park, guys.
If you want to celebrate and run around the base.
Right. Him taking a lap is more for everybody else cheering inside of the stadium than anything else.
You want to be a pimp daddy, man. Just drop that bat and walk into the dugout.
They'll call you out, but you know you did it.
I don't need to run around the base.
It's just, that's one of those where you make the argument again that the MLB might need to really go through that rule.
All right, then what's the alternative? So now I'm up to bat. Somehow I knock this thing out of the park. But to make sure I touch every base, I walk around.
Right.
I will not jog. I certainly will not run. I'm going to stop on each base so it's confirmed.
Stand and wave.
Right.
And then I will go to second base.
Tell me.
Do you want that instead? Because that would be my first reaction. It's just going to be a 90-second home run.
Right now is the pitchers are putting all kinds of crap on their ball.
Exactly.
That's the issue right now. That's the biggest problem in baseball.
Tell me
they're throwing with junk on the ball.
That the next batter that came up there, and if he knocked one out and over the wall, and if he made a statement of, like you said, walking up and jumping on every single bag, that he would not get thrown out of that game, much like a batter who's motioning and showing where that batter's box is on a call that he didn't agree with.
Like a rosin bag. You know what I mean? It's a powder. It's almost like putting talcum powder on your boys. Right. When you combine that with sunscreen and you mix them together and you put them someplace, you get a ball that almost doesn't move. It looks like the rotation on the ball looks like a knuckleball, but it's a fastball. So these guys have been throwing this crap for years. They go, well, that's good. It's part of the game. Well, no, it's been illegal for the entirety of the game.
Right.
You know,
we're going to dock this guy a home run?
But you're letting it go? You're letting that go, and you're worried about somebody stepping on a base?
Right.
You kidding me?
Give me a break.
That sucks.
As far as TV reminders tonight, it is finally here, ladies and gentlemen, on E! at 8 o'clock tonight. It is the series finale of everybody's favorite, Keeping Up with the Kardashians. It is done. This is the last episode.
We'll never see them again. They're gone from our lives.
Forever. They will never be back.
Here's the thing about it. I've never watched the show, but I'm always aware of them anyway. So
I know.
This will have zero impact in my life. It'll be the same as it ever was.
In the world of sports, the NBA playoffs continue. Game 3 between the Nets and the Bucks is underway right now. We've also got the Clippers and the Jazz for Game 2. As far as your NHL playoffs, tonight, I believe we got Game 2 between the Avalanche and the Golden Knights. For late night tonight, check out Jimmy Fallon. He's got Jason Momoa.
Thank you, Mike. We appreciate it. You are listening to The Men's Room.
Geico asks, how would you love a chance to save some money on insurance? Of course you would. And when it comes to great rates on insurance, Geico can help. Like with insurance for your car, truck, motorcycle, boat, and RV. Even help with homeowners or renters coverage. Plus, add an easy-to-use mobile app, available 24-hour roadside assistance, and more, and Geico is an easy choice. Switch today and see all the ways you could save. It's easy. Simply go to geico.com or contact your local agent today.
Take the next step toward the career you want, be it business, cybersecurity, healthcare, or more. UMGC can help you get there. No application fee when you apply by August 31st. Visit umgc.edu, certified to operate by Chev.
The Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill. Now, let's see what's happening in the real world.
All right, here we go. An Austrian soldier with a tattoo on his testicles jailed 19 months for breaking anti-Nazi laws. Meanwhile, a pastor who turned stripper had a desire to be naked, and the movie Titanic was the cause. Engaged woman draws up contracts for bridesmaids to sign for her wedding day. Arizona town declares wildfire emergency, then approves fireworks for your 4th of July soiree. And a Florida man tells cops after DUI arrest, chill, y'all, I'm just intoxicated. It's time for a headline.
Now, it's time to hit the headlines. Here's my car.
All right, top story. We go to England, where a man won a lawsuit for wrongful termination. When the pandemic began, he told his boss that he needed to stay in bed all day because of his persistent cough, which had nothing to do with COVID and everything to do with the fact that he's a heavy smoker, because he was caught later that day at a bar drinking and smoking. After he was fired for lying about his condition, he took the matter to court, where the judge ruled that there is nowhere in their policy that says that you cannot socialize if you call in sick. They're now figuring out how much he will win for wrongful termination.
I mean, I guess they're right.
They are.
They give you a certain number of sick days.
Right.
And 50% of the time, someone taking a sick day is probably lying.
Yes.
But you just don't ask questions.
Exactly.
Right? I mean, it's understood.
It's a mental health day.
You might be sick, you might not be sick.
I schedule my sick days months in advance.
Me too.
The day after a concert, I'm waiting to see.
Exactly. In other news, an Austrian soldier is in prison for 19 months because of a bad drunk decision. The soldier downed a bottle of whiskey with his brother and decided that they'd have some fun and mark him with a tattoo. But what's the point of if you don't go extreme? He tattooed a swastika on his scrotum and then proudly sent photos to his new ink to some of his friends. Unfortunately, this is in direct violation of the country's Nazi glorification laws, and he was sentenced to prison time.
No offense, I don't want a picture of your testicles. If you do send me a picture of your testicles, I don't want to see a swastika.
No.
But instead, you sent me a picture of your testicles with a swastika.
Right.
It's just, but at least you answered the question I had earlier today, because I said, look, I could have that on my testicles. How would anyone know?
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Here, take a look.
He showed everyone. That's how.
Come on, Miles has never sent you a picture after a night at the bar.
I just walked in the office one day and showed it to him.
He did.
Wait a minute, he did?
Yeah, an operation of something, and they were jet black, and they were swollen
to the size of tennis balls. I'm like, dude, you got to see this.
And before I could say anything, it was out.
Right there.
Oh, no.
I walk down the hallway and show Cass.
But good
check
news.
this out.
Good news. No swastika on his Sesame.
Oh, no.
At least not at that time.
Hey, man, take a look at this.
Seriously? Oh, he did. He went up the hall. He was like, Cass, you got to see this,
man. It's unbelievable. I can't even believe I'm here today. Can't believe I'm walking.
And I saw the image in my head.
Oh, God. A pastor in California has made a change in her life, taking to stripping and OnlyFans, but makes an interesting claim as to what inspired her. She says
Money.
She says that although she was rising through the ranks of the mega church that she was a part of, she had a burning desire to expose herself to the world, and credits Kate Winslet in Titanic as her final push in that direction. The scene in which Winslet plays the part of nude model for DiCaprio inspired her to take the plunge and move to a more risque lifestyle.
Okay. But Kate Winslet's like, that was not the point of that movie. But
Thanks.
I'm glad you gleaned that out of it.
Arizona falling victim to tone deafness. In the same session, a local county board of supervisors declared a state of emergency for the fire currently raging in the state. And also approved the use of fireworks for the upcoming holiday. And that is it for your headlines. With that, Mike Hawk is out.
Thank you, Mike. We appreciate it. We'll see you for the beginning of the weekend and the exciting return of Ted versus the FCC. The lovely Taryn Daly is up next.
Yes, indeed, it is all true. But in the meantime, we'll be all about this bitch. So until next time, please do what you do best. And for Aletha's sake, stay beautiful.
The Men's Room has been taped before a live studio audience. Wardrobe and makeup provided by Mantastic Limited. This has been a presentation of the Men's Room Radio Network. Oh, man! A Double Flush production.
Geico asks, how would you love a chance to save some money on insurance? Of course you would. And when it comes to great rates on insurance, Geico can help. Like with insurance for your car, truck, motorcycle, boat, and RV. Even help with homeowners or renters coverage. Plus, add an easy-to-use mobile app, available 24-hour roadside assistance, and more, and Geico is an easy choice. Switch today and see all the ways you could save. It's easy. Simply go to geico.com or contact your local agent today.